In 90% of my counseling sessions, the first symptom that students talk about is their inability to focus or to concentrate. Alternatively, they complain that they get distracted easily. A similar symptom is that of procrastination. There are many good books about how to increase focus and how to decrease procrastination. Whenever I am faced with such questions about focus, I am tempted to provide the students with advice that I read on those kinds of books. But with students, the symptoms that they express might not be the final or original or accurate or main or root symptom. They will usually talk about symptoms that they know the vocabulary of or that they hear on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok. That said, you cannot deny the student that he is facing a certain symptom. Here, it is the inability to focus. In fact, if I was to take the complaints of the students at face value, then it would appear that the biggest hindrance to learn and to be a master of any subject is focus. Only if I could focus on my studies, I could get an A plus. This is what students think. If only they could prevent themselves from being distracted by their mobile phones, then they could study and thus they could get an A plus. This is their logic. However, upon delving deeper into their symptoms to make the correct diagnosis, I always come up with different interpretation of their problems that they are facing. Then they agree upon my diagnosis. Therefrom, I offer them recommendations and coach them on how to execute my advices. The cause of the lack of focus can range from family problems to medication. This is 20% of the cause of what they express as lack of focus. In 80% of the complaints on lack of focus, I've found it is due to the inability of the students to understand what they are studying. They deny that they are not able to understand to their teachers, parents, and especially to themselves. This leads to mental state of despair and sometimes frustration, irritation, as well as fear. And these symptoms students label as lack of focus. For psychologists, when you say you lack focus, it means that the individual is not using his focus muscle properly. Yes, for neuroscientists, focus is considered as a muscle. It gets tired from overuse. It also gets atrophied from underuse. There are many experiments that have been conducted that prove focus is a muscle. However, in this book, I will not talk further about the real problem of focus and its real solution. Again, if I did so, it would be another book by itself. Still, it would not help the student because when he says that he's not able to concentrate, he's not actually having a problem with his focus muscle in the brain. His real problem is he's not understanding what he's studying. I have found from my counseling sessions that the moment I use the four brain learning approach to help the student understand the subject that he's facing a problem in, his eyes open wide, his facial expression and body language show his intense desire to learn more. He is no longer a passive listener when I coach him using the four brain learning approach. Now he is beginning to ask questions. Upon being asked questions, he is eager to genuinely find a reply. So basically, what is happening after he is taught using the four brain learning approach is that he suddenly becomes interested in a subject that he despised. Then, as I mentioned in the earlier section, something happens in his brain. Sparkles, magic, electrification, whatever it is, causes the neurons in his brain to suddenly take a new shape. It's as if his brain woke up from a slumber. It's as if he was in a desert, thirsty for many years, and I had provided him with clean, unlimited water. He just drinks. He just listens and absorbs to my forebrain exposition of the subject that he just several minutes ago had no clue about. By the time he walks out after the counseling session, his being is filled with endorphin. He is elated. It is as if he has found something he had lost many years ago. That thing is the joy of learning. I tease the students by saying, well, you have been listening to me for 1.5 hours and you seem pretty much super focused. Are you cured? They laugh and they realize that my theory about why they are not able to focus is true. After they understood what they were supposed to study, they felt the ability to concentrate increased and the need to procrastinate decrease. If you follow the four brain learning approach, there is no subject that you cannot find interesting. Also, there is no subject that you cannot understand if you use this four brain learning approach. Yes, you might not become a master in all the subjects, but you will understand all of them. Yes, you can even understand Einsteinian physics using the four brain learning approach. So I'm coming to the end of this chapter. I'm sure that you recognize that the cure for all the learning problems that students have, as per this book and especially this chapter, is the four brain learning approach. It might seem a bit biased, but again, this is my book, and it is an opportunity for me to put my point of view across without impediment. Some of you might agree on what I wrote, some of you might refute me, yet some of you might be willing to investigate further my claims. Up till now, I have talked in general about studies. From this point onwards, in the coming 12 chapters, I'll be talking about specific subjects and applying the four brain learning approach to understand each of them. In this way, you will gain interest in each of the subjects, and that will develop naturally your concentration and ability to focus in those subjects. So now let us begin the journey into the 12 subjects, being guided by the four brain learning approach.